start by quoting someone that Lael Locke knows really well from Chatham, Mary Gail Beeble, who was the facilitator for our first project up in Chatham, New York for the Keep Farming program, who said that community engagement, the Keep Farming process, is a process. It is not an event. So you have to be committed for the long term. And it gets a little messy at times. We could spend the rest of the day in this room talking about some of those experiences, but we won't. So I am Virginia Kasinke. I'm the Director of Community-Based Programs at Glenwood Center, which is located in Cold Spring, New York. It's Putnam County in the lower Hudson Valley. And to just put it where you know where it is if you've not been there, we're on the east side of the Hudson River, directly opposite West Point. So we're pretty far down there. Joining me today on the panel are these really brilliant people. Because while I get out and go and say, you should do this, these ladies will do it. So we have Jennifer Munoz from, let's say that correct? Munoz, sorry, from Northern Berkshire. And Jennifer's going to be talking about the Keep Farming up in Northern Berkshires, plus her other work in community gardens. We have Rachel Kelly, and Rachel is a resident of Copiague that just went through and did a brilliant program on saving farmland in Copiague. Very exciting model to look at. And then, of course, now we have people that have more community engagement experience than most of us will have in a lifetime. Betsy McCall and Shanna Barney from the Northeast Community Center in Millerton, a very rural community in Dutchess County. So they will talk to you about the numerous programs that they're doing, plus the USDA grant that they have for a community assessment. Okay, so he's there. And you left. I have a pulse, I know it. Okay, here we go. All right, so as I say, Glenwood is a 225-acre historic farm in Putnam County. Thank you. We've had a recent change in leadership. Kathleen Frith is our new president. Some of you may have known Judith Lavelle, who was the founding president of Glenwood and been there for 17 years. Kathleen came to us about a year and a half ago, and we're looking now at how can we ensure farming thrives in the Hudson Valley. And we have a number of programs that we do it with. One very specific one is the farm itself. 225-acre, diversified livestock program, animal welfare approved. We also have a 100-member CSA certified naturally grown program. We have apprentices, we have volunteers on the farm. We heard a lot of people talking already today about the need to train the next generation of farmers. One of the things that we do in addition to our apprentice program is we are starting the first Hudson Valley Farm Business Incubator specifically for livestock. It is the only livestock incubator farm in the country, and it's going to be in New Paltz, New York. We also do a bunch of workshops for farmers as well as for community residents. This is, some of you may have heard about the Hard Cider project that we did, and is still very much alive. Sarah Grady, our Vice President for Programs, initiated that program. It has just taken off and is doing extremely well. Not to be confused with regular cider at all. This is really very good stuff. And the next thing we're going to be looking at is cured meats, and especially goat meat, which is one of the biggest growing markets in the country for meat right now. Collaboration, we're trying to be a hub for the sharing of ideas, to bring some really world-class thinkers together on how do we address these issues. So James Beard Boot Camp came, a lot of work now with chefs, trying to get the chefs to understand the importance of buying local and working with the farmers and making that happen. And we'll be working more with Land Trust on their sustainable agriculture programs. And so then we get to the meat of the matter and why we are here today in this room. Back in the early 2000s, what we were seeing consistently with the requests that were coming to us from communities was that they were very scared that they were losing all their farmland. They were not talking about losing their farmers nor their farming food products, only their land. And so we thought we'd best to do something to help communities better understand the value of agriculture and really what's needed to keep farmers on the land, because it's not just enough to save the land. And again, as you've been hearing consistently today, you know, if farmers are not economically viable, they don't stay. There has to be pieces there to keep them. And so what we see at Glenwood are two very important pieces. One is that we totally believe that the community and its residents are part of the needed infrastructure to have a sustainable agriculture in the region. So you have to have community support, and you have to have a pro-agriculture community. We also very firmly believe that the best solutions come out of the communities themselves. They know what to do, but people don't ask the right people what to do. So when we designed the Keep Farming program, we designed it in a way to bring together farmers, residents, elected officials, people from the agricultural world, the organizations and agencies, to get together, to start having these discussions, and most importantly, to really figure out what they have in their community. Who owns the land? What's being farmed? Where are those products being sold? What are the consumers buying? What products are being brought into the community for those consumers? What are the institutions and restaurants purchasing? And how can we bring this together into a sustainable program that will ensure the longevity of agriculture in the community? So that is our Keep Farming program. And that actually, we've done now in 12 communities. As I said, Chatham was the first community that we piloted in here in Columbia County, but we've gone all the way down to Rockland County, which used to have 900 farms until they built the Tappan Zee Bridge, and then, right? Okay, so, but Rockland now is a growing population, and the Rockland Farm Alliance has the first CSA program for Rockland County, and it is growing. They're taking on another farm. So when, in about 2010, we received funding to expand the program and replicate the program. And that will then bring us to our next speaker, because what we then did is we partnered with the Berkshire Regional Planning Commission for Berkshire County.
As I went walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land.